I'm Cheyenne, and if the ice in my white wine doesn't say enough, this presentation will. So, you've all heard the word alpha. It's something about being aggressive, being a leader, being someone dominant, you could say. And what does alphaness, what does this tell us about our future, about the culture, about how we present ourselves at work or home at bars? The beginnings. So Alpha came from 1970s, this book, this doctor, he was studying wolves in captivity. He was like, this wolf, he's taking control of everybody. He's got this going. He's got his own gang. He's running the streets in captivity, you know. So the beginnings were this obsession with like power dynamics, control, masculinity, but it's all in like an artificial environment. So what he found out like 20 years later, he was like, actually, they're just the parents. The alpha is just the parents of the wolf family. But nobody kept up with that part. So what I really care about when it comes to the alpha mentality is what this means in today's culture, in a more subversive culture, you could say, like wolves. We know wolves. There's been werewolf movies for decades. And why are we obsessed with werewolf movies? Is it like the coming of age? And then in coming of age movies, you know what they do? They typically have sex. So my coming of age werewolf exposure was Teen Wolf. Exactly. We have hot alphas. We have hot betas. Everyone can turn into a wolf, but we never hear about omegas on Teen Wolf. Does anyone have an idea of what an omega could be in a wolf to werewolf scenario? What do you think a omega is? Huh? A human. Okay. Thoughts on omega? Okay, so we have alpha, beta, omega, and you think that an omega is a really big wolf? Cool. What do we think omegas are? Light-skinned. All right, well, you have a prejudice. Drake, hide your loins. Sir with the glasses, what's omega?
Yeah, maybe a medium-sized dog.
Oh, wow. All right. So no one's religious? Great. Other sir with glasses?
A different type of.
Amazing. All right. Ladies, you're my final question. I feel like one of you know a little bit about where I'm going, but what's an omega?
I feel like you're hinting at like Jesus being the alpha and omega or something.
Okay. Now that is part of what people think it is. The omega, a lot of people think of God, Jesus, the beginning, the end. Some people think of omegas as the runt of the pack, the person that can't chill with the gang because they're a little slow, they're really skinny, something. They're just like the outsider of the group. But in this fun practice of fantasy, we have the omegaverse. And it gives omegas a whole new practice that you will be seeing soon in a Pornhub near you. Now, in the porn to fan fiction world, of which I discovered through Teen Wolf, the omegaverse is when you prescribe sexual tendencies and physical characteristics to werewolves based off of their status. So alphas are the dominant men because, well, these are all gay, so everyone's men. But I'm bisexual, so I included women. You're welcome. I only tell people I'm bisexual when hot women are around, so. So in the stories that I've read since I was 11, the alphas are dominant. They go into ruts. They're very physical. And then the betas are kind of just normal. They're the average person in these worlds. The omegas are clingy sluts. Omegas get pregnant, whether they're male or female. They are typically attracted to alphas. They're basically like the bitch. They're the bitch, both literally and figuratively. So now you have a little bit of an idea of what this is shaping into being. So we've all been on Pornhub. You know there's a little bit about the stepmom, the sister, the dad, stuck in a microwave, stuck in a blender, who cares? I'm here to tell you that in 10 years, your porn will be going from incest to bestiality. Spooky. Now, I know this because before omegaverse, there was wincest. Now, has anyone heard of the TV show Supernatural? Exactly. So there is a pair of siblings in Supernatural. It's Dean and Sam Winchester. In fan fiction, these two are a couple. And you get to choose who gets pregnant. And the internet calls this wincest. Now, this is not just in supernatural TV shows, it's also with bands. There's a band called My Chemical Romance, My Chem for short. The lead singer is Gerard Way. Famously, he inspired Twilight because of 2001, the Twin Towers and whatever. 9/11. So Jared Way caused Twilight through 9/11. It's a whole thing. There's videos about it, I swear. But in the band that he is in, the basis of My Chemical Romance is Mikey Way, his brother. And so that's also called Waycest. Yes. Now, you don't know that this is where your incest porn came from, but I do. And that is how I can tell you that next is the bestiality. Because as we continue this terrible, terrible world where everything sucks, people will become more invested in the fantasy. And that includes being fucked by a werewolf. Right. Now, we're already kind of halfway there. I mean, not me, but like the world in general, these are all completely real pictures. You've heard of furries. I don't know if you've heard of pet play. I've just realized that a lot of the werewolf dynamic that has evolved since the 1970s, it's already present in our sex lives. BDSM is basically half bestiality at this point. So, sorry, don't tell my match is on field. I said that. But we have furries, we have non-sexual furries, we have bondage furries, we have pet play, we have masked. People are doing a lot to not be human these days.